Hello and welcome to Daybreak Fraser Valley Weekend. I'm Kelli Paddon.
And I'm Teri Westerby.
Yeah, we're back after a week hiatus to bring you all the best that the Fraser Valley has to offer, starting with my guest co-host this week, Teri.
So good to be here, Kelli. And we have a lot in store. You're doing an interview with a local realtor, Jill Hall, here to talk with us about the dangers of radon gas seeping into your home.
Yes, something that's always been with us, but has only become a problem recently. Jill will also explain why. We also have Natalie Bedard back with Total Wellness, sponsored by Rivercrest Contracting, and all the local news and the events not to miss this weekend in the Fraser Valley. It's all coming up after the break. Welcome back. It's so great to have you here on our first show after we've said goodbye to Carrie. Hi, Carrie. You're awesome, and so much I want to talk to you about. But first, we're gonna do it in stages. Okay. So first, what were you up to last weekend?
Last weekend, oh gosh, I can't even. What was? Oh, the mural festival.
The mural festival,
of course.
All right, it was really great. Lots of new art.
Oh my gosh, an amazing. Oh, the one by the church. I love that
with the bubbles?
Yes.
Okay, if you haven't checked it out yet, make sure you go online. It's all over Facebook. The pictures are everywhere. I feel like there's more and more every week or every year.
Yeah, and I love. And they moved to the south side as well, and so there's one right by my house in Sardis, done by the tallest Cree, and I love it. It's beautiful.
All right, well, lots of things happened this week. A little cooler, and then maybe not so cool, and who knows what the weather's doing. I hope summer's not over, though. So, jumping into the news?
Let's do it.
Okay, so why don't we start with things outside of the Fraser Valley? How about Bella and Elon Musk?
Oh, gosh.
So, according to Andrew Kurjata of the CBC, Elon Musk flew into Bella, BC, on BC Central Coast. So that was on Saturday via a small private aircraft, and then flew out again on Monday by helicopter. Yeah.
Don't we all?
He's believed to have been en route to see James Murdoch, son of media mogul Rupert Murdoch.
I did not know that the Murdochs had property over here.
Yeah, they own property in the area. Incidentally, though born in South Africa, Musk is actually a Canadian citizen.
Why?
I appreciate the deep breath. Okay, moving on. In Abbotsford, Jenna Hawk for the Abbey News reported that on Saturday, just after noon, a Brahma rodeo bull on his way to get his hooves trimmed escaped a Matsqui farm and was finally caught, rodeo style, of course, on Highway 11.
Well, who'd have thought you could cage a bull?
I know. He was tranquilized in order to get him onto the trailer, and he didn't appear injured. Funnily enough, though, they actually trimmed his hooves right on the highway before they loaded him into the trailer, because
that's what animal caretakers do.
Yeah,
they take care of the animals. And I heard that the farm that they escaped from actually advocated that the bull was not put down, so they went out of their way to put him down, tranquilize him, and do his nails right there so that he could go on to live.
That's fantastic. Yeah. Great animal stewardship there. All right, Chilliwack. Closer to home for us.
Ooh. Jessica
Peters of the Chilliwack Progress reports that a 74-year-old Agassiz woman died in a rollover crash on Sunday on Highway 1. And additionally, in a downtown fire that happened last month, Mike Van den Bosch of Fraser Valley today reports that Neil Stad of Nuggets Books is eager to reopen his business after it sustained water damage from a fire in the upstairs living units of the building. Can we talk for a minute about like the fires and the car accidents that are happening?
Yeah, it seems to be a lot. Do you think it's just because of the amount of news we're getting and we have access to that, or
maybe it's the amount of news? But a reminder: there's a couple weekends left in the summer. Drive safe, and you know what? Back to school, great time to check your fire alarms. So
absolutely,
yeah. So in Harrison, Global News reports that on Friday, a man drowned in the lagoon in Harrison Hot Springs, where a search commenced and his remains were found on Saturday. So according to Fraser Valley Today, Harrison Mayor Fred Talon, there is an investigation underway by the RCMP and possibly one by the coroner's office. No further comments were provided, though foul play is not suspected. So that's really sad.
Harrison Lake is a very dangerous lake, and I don't think people take it seriously enough. Please, if you are out on the water, take it seriously, and you don't expect something to happen.
No, and this was in the lagoon as well. Like the lake, people, it happens. I don't think you expect it so much in the lagoon, but maybe that's just it, is people are feeling invincible, right? Okay, in hope. Who knew we were in for an international political incident? Amy Judd of Global News reports that the Beijing consulate in Vancouver emailed Hope Mayor Victor Smith telling him that a Taiwanese flag at the town's main bus stop must be taken down. So it's been up for 12 years. A Taiwanese visitor noticed the Taiwanese flag was missing then, and also sent the mayor an email. Since the flags of both countries, China and Taiwan, are displayed, as Hope wishes to stay neutral in the geopolitical dispute, I'm hoping that it's resolved, but we'll see.
I hope so.
I hope so. Okay. In Langley on Monday, a major fire hit a construction site near 201 Street and Fraser Highway on Sunday morning. CBC News reported the cause of the fire is under investigation, and police are asking for the public's help, including dash cam footage.
It's a good thing we have so much technology available.
Cameras
solve crimes.
Everywhere.
It's helpful and also scary.
This one is one that hits close for me. So in Mission, Abbotsford, Vicky Hope's reporting for Abbey News states that 62 people will lose their jobs in both Mission and Abbotsford as we see the end of the Archway recycling contract. Okay, so this was originally a program designed to help people who had barriers to employment get employment. So really disappointed. The reason cited was that they'd save over 40%, which, you know, civic purse strings, you have to be responsible with public funds, but I don't know, this one doesn't feel great.
Well, it said in the report that the city failed to deliver on the upgrades that would have made it more cost efficient for Archway to continue. So that was disappointing to read, that it was doomed to fail.
Yeah, okay, well, Archway's an important organization, so we need to keep supporting it. Okay, we're gonna do a little business now. And then after the break, our interview with Jill Hall on the dangers of radon gas, followed by my interview with you.
Yay.
Welcome back, and welcome to the show, Jill. Now, we're here to discuss something very serious, and that is radon gas. But before we do, I'd love just to find out a little bit more about you and who you are and what brought you here.
My name is Jill Hall. I was born and raised in Chilliwack, and I was an RN for 22 years, and then I changed over to become a realtor. My brothers were builders in town, and then that's what caused the transition to be a realtor.
Okay.
So I've been a realtor in Chilliwack now for about the same length of time, about 22 years.
Wow. Okay. So a registered nurse and now a realtor. And you're here to talk about radon gas, and it's personal for you. So for people who don't already know, can you explain a little bit about what is radon gas and why does it matter to me?
Okay. Radon gas is breakdown of uranium under the ground. It's worldwide. It's a universal problem. It's not a specific problem. So every single home, school, daycare, hospital can be affected by radon. So when the uranium breaks down, it turns into a radioactive gas called radon. So that seeps up into your home. It takes the least path of resistance, so your home being that, because typically, we're in ground, therefore it comes up through the slab, through cracks. Even if you don't have cracks, it probably will find a way into your home.
Okay, so it's a problem now, but it hasn't always been. Why is that?
Well, with the government's mandate of airtight homes, which has been a real hard push for the last, I don't know how many years, I'd say 10 plus, retrofitting, putting more insulation in, upgrading your windows, that has really caused an increase in the radon in our homes because they're so airtight. Okay. So even though I have noted that we have tested some older homes and they have had radon, so I'm not quite clear on how that, maybe they were retrofitted. So just because you have an older home doesn't mean you're safe from radon. Mm-hmm. I'd say any building that's on land has a risk of having radon in it.
Okay, so for millennia, uranium has been breaking down in the planet. Radon has been coming up and just harmlessly leaving the earth. Is
Right.
that about right? But now, because we insulate so well and other factors probably, it's getting trapped in the home. So what happens? What are the risks with that?
Well, the risk of radon buildup over long term, it doesn't happen instantly, but is lung cancer. So that's why I'm on this drive to educate the public, because unfortunately I'm one of the victims of radon buildup. Being a non-smoker, I mean, radon, it's a radioactive gas, so it will over time cause very harmful effects, which is lung cancer.
And this is really personal for you because you have lung cancer as a result likely of radon buildup.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, so that's really scary. What can people do? Because I know we've spoken before about it, and there are simple ways to test and some relatively simple ways to mitigate as well. So let's start with testing. How do people know if there's radon in their home?
Well, I brought this along. It's a radon tester. This is very effective. It gives you your readings. It gives you a digital readout on the front, and then it's got an app, and it'll give you your long-term readings, because the radon levels will really fluctuate. Like, you'll get a radon reading of 10, and then within the next 10 minutes, it might, jump up to 700.
And what is acceptable?
The World Health Organization says 100 BQM3.
Okay.
So it's not, it doesn't take a lot to cause harm over long term.
Okay. Yeah. And when we were talking earlier, you were saying that sometimes when it's raining or the weather's different, your readings will be different, right?
Yeah, it's really good to test in the winter months, because that's when your home's really tight, airtight. In the summer, you've got your windows open. So the winter months, when it's your house is all locked up, or not locked up, but your windows are shut and there's less in and out, your radon readings will be at its peak. And then, like you say, with the water, or if there's snow too, or if there's a storm or something, your radon levels will typically go up quite high, significantly.
Okay, so I've tested my home, and I'm going to be testing it again. These are pretty easy to get, though, right? Where can someone get a tester?
I bought these off of Amazon.
Okay.
Yeah, it was very reasonable. Local stores also hold them or sell them, so they're very accessible.
Great. Yeah. So if you find that you have really high radon, what do? You don't have to move out.
You can mitigate. There is a mitigator, Fraser Valley radon mitigation. They mitigate. It's the approximate cost is about $4,500. Highly effective. So what they do is they just drill a hole through your slab, and they put a pipe in, and then they connect a fan and another pipe that vents it outside. Because the goal is not to have the radon come into your home, because then you're already dealing with the consequences, even if you open your windows. You don't want that radon to come into your home at all.
Yeah.
You want to get it vented right out.
Okay.
And highly effective. Like, our radon readings in our house in Sardis were 700, and after we mitigated, my average would be 10.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's easy. Some homes are being built this way. Now, this seems like it would be a pretty big public health issue. Is public health on top of this?
Okay, I'm glad you brought that up, because with my background as a health professional, my first go-to was public health. And I emailed, phoned, they knew my name very well, but I kept on getting a pat on the head. And I'm still to this day confused of why they're not fulfilling their mandate of public health. So then I reached out to, Harv Westring, local councillor.
At the city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Chris Clute, who were extremely helpful, and yourself, Dan Coulter. I've had huge support. Environmental Services at City of Chilliwack, Fraser Valley Regional District, they've been doing promoting testing, giving out testers. Like, the support from them is phenomenal. But that being said, like, they're not public health, and they're doing their own funding and everything, putting resources into it. So I'm hoping that if someone knows a public health person, or public health is watching this, they really need to step up, because lung cancer is not something to fool around with. And there is an increase with lung cancer. Like, lung cancer is on the rise. They say lung cancer is more than, like, breast cancer, ovarian cancer, and there's one other cancer. Those amalgamated, there's more people with lung cancer. Like, it's affecting us.
And a rising number, especially of women who are non-smokers, developing lung cancer as well,
Yeah,
right?
Definitely. That's what they're seeing is that.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, important way to start the day. What is one takeaway you'd like people to take with them from this conversation?
Test your home.
Test your home.
Yeah. You don't know until you test it. If you're not going to do it for yourself, do it for your kids, do it for your pets. Because I also would like to mention my cat died of lung cancer last year. So, you know, it's a harsh reality that people have to deal with.
All right.
It's important.
Well, and thanks to FVRD and the city for being on top of it. Thanks so much for sharing all this information, Jill. It's really important, critical that people understand what the danger is, but what they can do about it as well. So make sure you get tested to know if you have to mitigate any issues in your home. After the break, we're going to interview Teri Westerby.
Sunday driving and the sun's bright shining. We load up the doggies, gas up our rifle. We're gonna hit that 4-lane, and man, we are flying. We come alive when we Sunday driving.
Welcome back. We are with Teri, and wasn't that interview about the radon? Did you know any of that?
None of that.
Okay. Well, I'm excited to have you here.
excited to be
And we're
here.
going to talk all about you. We've waited long enough. Thank you for being my co-host.
Oh, this is fun.
But now we're going to drill down a little bit. So a lot of people know you from your role on the school board. Some people know you from the fact that you just ran for a federal seat.
Yeah.
A few people know you, more than a few people know you. Businesses know you because you do a lot of work with local businesses to support them. Mm-hmm. But for anyone who doesn't know you or who doesn't know the whole picture, can you share a little bit about yourself? What brought you here? What are you just all the things about Teri.
I'm a person who kind of follows my heart and my soul and lets that kind of guide me. So what brought me to Chilliwack was actually both my mom moving here and being settled in and marrying a new man that she'd met.
We love your mom. Hi.
and it was just a phenomenal new life that she'd built for herself out here. And also myself getting to a point where I was trying to understand what life was really all about because as many of you probably know, but maybe most don't, I'm trans. I'm a trans man. And I had to figure out who I was on my own. Mm-hmm. I was there was no learning, there was no education, well, maybe there were some books, but not within my little hometown of Maple Ridge, BC. So I kind of was just trying to figure life out for myself. And Chilliwack called to me because of all of the farming that was out here.
Yeah.
And I thought, what a better way to really connect with who I am and what the world really means to me, but by getting really in touch with the soil and how things grow and what nature is. And so that's what drew me out here.
Okay, the agriculture.
Yeah.
I don't mean to brag, but I grew a corn.
You're a corn. That's actually really impressive.
Yeah. Okay, so you came out for agriculture, and so were you Farmer Teri?
Yes, I was. Some people at the time knew me as Farmer Teri.
Okay, what did you grow?
Well, I actually worked on an organic farm. I'm really lucky. You wouldn't think that you'd find a 10-acre organic farmer's market farm in Chilliwack amongst all these massive farms and massive swaths of land that grow carrots and potatoes, right? But there's this small family-run organic farm, and they were hiring local people to run and produce all these different types of crops and then take it to the farmers markets in Vancouver. And I got the job there, and they were I had mostly a technical background, so I spent my whole entire life to that point sitting on the computer, and so of course when they looked at me, they're like, this is a hard job, right? And I was like, I promise I can do it. And I learned so much about how nature grows, and we were able to grow all these different types of crops and then take it to the farmers market in Vancouver. And that's where I really learned the value of community and taking care of each other. And it was such a beautiful experience.
And you literally got your hands dirty.
Oh, quite literally.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay, and since then, so you were you were the founder for Chilliwack Pride, which is fantastic. And we just had the event. So we just celebrated Pride in Chilliwack. Mm-hmm. But you also have a business. You do your own thing.
I do, yeah. I freelance for the most part, yeah. But I've always done graphic design and marketing and copywriting and things like that. And been working with some pretty fabulous leaders in town.
It's really good work. Branding too.
Yes, yeah. All that
Okay.
kind of stuff.
Well, so you are a man of many talents and many hats.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. And then I made him co-host. So, okay. Right now, one of the things I know we're working on together is actually a memorial coming up. So did you want to share any information about that? I know that that's really important to you as well.
Yeah, we were able to get together and decide to host a memorial for Dan Coulter, just giving the community a chance to come together and mourn and celebrate and just talk about the legacy and how he touched each individual person. I didn't get as good of a chance to get to know him as I would have liked, and selfishly when he lost, I said, great, now I have a chance to really get to know him. And when he passed, I was really devastated because that meant that that chance was taken from me. So getting to share this experience with others and how he touched our lives is really important to this community. I know people have asked me, I know people have asked you when and if there's going to be something for him. So we get to do that, and that's September 14th at All Sappers Memorial in Sardis at the corner of Vedder and Keith Wilson.
Yeah. From 1 till 3. And that's open to community. It's outside, dress accordingly. And there's some seating, as people know if you've gone to the Remembrance Day ceremonies, but seating is also a little bit limited, so feel free to bring your own.
Yeah.
All right, so what's next on the horizon? What are you working on right now?
Well, we have one more full school year left of the school trustee season. And then we technically have a little bit of time of the following school year, when then re-election is up for all the municipal seats, so the school board and city. So,
And that's across BC.
Yeah. So that is sort of on the horizon, and currently looking at other jobs, but mostly focusing on some podcasts that I'm working on. One of them is called Rainbow Country, and it's going to be about sort of anonymous stories of queer people across Chilliwack and across Canada, ideally in the long run. Really just a raw look at what individual life looks like for queer people in Canada, especially my generation or previous generations, when you had to really fight to be who you were and fight against the system. And the reason I'm doing it is because I want people to understand that all queer experiences are individual, but when you look at them from a big picture, you can see systemically why people are actually being hurt by some of the decisions that our policy leaders make.
All right, well, so just a few things.
Just a few. I'm just following that heart.
I'm excited. All of the work rooted in community. Thank you so much. I'm excited to hear more about Rainbow Country. Thank you for sharing with me, with our audience. It's always a privilege to have you here. After the break, we'll have one more guest segment for Total Wellness with Natalie Bedard before we're back with your Fraser Valley events for the week.
Hi there, it's Natalie Bedard, your fitness, nutrition, and mindset coach. And today I'd like to talk to you about something that really helps a lot of my clients regulate themselves around food, their feelings around food, and also make choices that are in alignment with their goals, even when they've really had a history of, quote unquote, self-sabotage or feeling like they're falling off track and really not understanding why. And what this is called episodic future thinking, easy for me to say, EFT. And really what you're doing is visualizing yourself in the future as you would like to be. As human beings, it's in our nature to really preference who we are presently. So we make our decisions based on the present and not the future, because the future seems to be not real, out of reach for us. If you ever heard yourself say, that's a future me problem, I'm making this choice now and I'm really not thinking about the consequences. When you bring in EFT, episodic future thinking, it really connects your present self to your future self and helps you create more mindfulness around your choices. So the way that you would do this is really just stop to think about the reason why you have your goals, your fitness, nutrition, lifestyle changes that you want to make, what your goals are. What does that future version of you who's already achieved those things look like? What do they feel like? What do they do? So what would that person do to achieve the things that you really want to achieve in the future? And then when it comes to choices like meals or you're dining out, I've had lots of clients struggle with dining out and then beat themselves up after. When they bring into their mindset a future thought of themselves, they're more able to make choices that are in alignment with their goals because they stop for a minute and they go, how am I going to feel about this in the future? What's the better decision for me right now? And it's easier for them to make the decision that's in alignment with what they want to see as a result in the future, their future selves. So you can either start your day with take a moment and just really imprint in your brain, who do I want to be? What does that person look like, feel like? What do they do? Catch yourself when you're about to make a decision and you're struggling with that decision. Stop for a moment and just ask yourself, what would future me think? How am I going to feel about this next week, next month, next year? I've seen some major breakthroughs with clients in the relationship with food and themselves, their body image, all of it, just by employing this small technique. So give it a try, and I hope it works for you.
Great show, Teri. It was so wonderful having you with us.
Thanks for having me. And thanks to Jill Hall for sharing that important information about the dangers of radon gas. And thanks to Natalie Bedard for her total wellness segment. That's new.
Yeah. So, do you have any plans for the weekend?
Maybe checking out the farmer's market, but not really.
I mean, if you don't have any, we're about to go through a whole bunch of events.
Smart.
Okay.
I'll take notes.
Yeah. All right. Well, myself, I am actually going to be bringing my youngest, moving her to Calgary for university.
Oh.
It's going to be a weird weekend. Not as weird as next weekend, though. Okay. Let's jump into it. What's happening in the Valley? So let's start with Abbotsford. Tomorrow, August 23rd, starting at 1 p.m., you can join the Ukrainian rally at Abbotsford City Hall and walk with Ukrainian and Canadian flags through the city center. There will be borscht contests, of course, and all sorts of other eats contests, pottery workshop, chances to win a myriad of prizes. And they have a goal to raise $6,000 for a medical evacuation vehicle for the 162nd Brigade. So more details on the Ukrainian Independence Day Fraser Valley Facebook page.
Wow, that's incredible. That sounds like a great event. Yeah. On Sunday, you can head downtown from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. to the Abbotsford Hospice. It's their Cruise In car show, featuring classic cars, food trucks, and entertainment for the whole family. I mean, who wouldn't love that? I mean, I would.
There's a lot of car shows.
You can also register your classic car to be in the show for $35. The proceeds go to the hospice.
Excellent. Okay. Agassiz, today from 1 to 3:30 p.m. There's a fun little educational program for kids at the Agassiz Harrison Museum on Pioneer Avenue called Time Traveler Day.
Wow.
It introduces kids to the daily life of a child during Agassiz's earliest years, having the kids try on traditional chores like washing clothes on a scrub board and churning butter.
So cool.
They'll also be introduced to traditional games of the day and learn how to weave on a loom.
That's really cool. I would love that. Can I go?
I don't know. I'm pretty short. Maybe I could pass. Cost is $10. So a pretty inexpensive way to show your kids that the chores you're handing them aren't so bad. Yeah. They should feel lucky.
Yeah, no kidding.
All right. Chilliwack, what's up?
Well, for Chilliwack this weekend, let's get a little exercise, shall we?
On Sunday, there's going to be a free community event at
Little Mountain Park on Hillcrest Drive from 1 to 3.
Okay, yoga in the park, designed for the whole family. You're asked to bring blankets or lawn chairs. I guess only lawn chairs if you're planning on being a spectator.
That makes sense.
Maybe chair yoga? I don't know.
Yeah, adaptable.
Up in my neck of the woods, Cultus Lake tonight. It's free movie night at Main Beach at Cultus Lake, starting at 9 p.m. They'll have Captain America, Brave New World, Remember, parking fees are in effect, and you'll need to bring your own snacks and blankets and chairs.
Maybe you could carpool.
Yeah, definitely carpool.
Yeah.
We'd also suggest a little mosquito repellent to maintain maximum comfort. All right. In Langley at the McBurney Plaza, you get the Fork Finger Foodie event.
Try saying that 3 times in a row.
Yeah, it's not as easy as it looks.
You not have to throw a quarter in the swear jar.
Good call. Okay, it's all about celebrating amazing food and the unique restaurants located in downtown Langley. The Fork Finger Passport is the, see, I did it, is the perfect opportunity to check out a restaurant you've been meaning to try or to visit your favorite local spots.
Smart.
Yeah, so it goes from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. and you basically get a passport at McBurney Plaza and collect stamps from the restaurants you visit. And a lot of restaurants will have a $5 feature item. So there'll also be cooking demonstrations and live music.
It sounds fabulous. I would go.
Yeah,
I'm glad they give you so much time because I don't think I could eat that much food in a short
and
time.
$5 features. I love that. Okay, mission. Tomorrow. It's the 3rd annual Jamaican Grand Gala, celebrating the culture, food, music, and performances of Jamaica. This is open to everyone and will be held at the Best Western Plus Mission City Lodge. So something maybe a little different than normally. Many unique and interesting things to explore this weekend across the Fraser Valley.
Amazing.
Yeah. I want to thank you for being here and being my co-host.
It's fun.
Yeah, it was great. Love to invite you back anytime. Maybe in the fall we can talk school board.
Yeah, I'll have to check the board, but make it happen.
Okay. To all of the rest of you, have a fabulous Fraser Valley weekend.